Good day to each and everyone. My name is Lagosta Justine and I'll be the reporter for today's video. My topic is all about thematic approach to instructional planning. So we're going to identify the objectives first. At the end of the lesson, the student shall be able to define the meaning of thematic approach to instructional planning. Value the importance of thematic approach. And lastly, create a sample instruction plan considering the components identified. We're going to identify what is thematic approach. So this way of teaching starts with the identification of a theme, the underlying concept that allows for the structure and organization of specific content across disciplines. So, this method of teaching involves choosing a specific topic to teach one or more concepts. This way of teaching and learning, whereby different areas of the curriculum are related together and integrated to a central theme. So, the theme is the topic of interest that provides the core for group activities. So it also helps learners see meaningful connections across disciplines of learning areas such as subjects. And more importantly, themes provide relevance for the learners by drawing together concepts under one umbrella. So it allows literacy to grow progressively. It guides connected ideas to follow on easily. So, in simple words, thematic teaching is based on the idea that learners learn best through holistic, real-life experiences. It's about students actively constructing their own knowledge. That is what makes this form of teaching and learning most unique. Instead of focusing on rote learning and memorization, kids are able to make better connections with concepts explored because of daily life examples and experiences. So according to Piaget, in 1962, he believed that knowledge is built in a slow, continuous construction of skills and the understanding that each child brings to each situation as he or she matures. Also, in Vygotsky in 1997, he suggested that social interaction and collaboration were powerful sources of transformation in the child's thinking. We're going to identify what is instructional planning. Do you have any ideas? So we're going to define it first. So instructional planning, it is the process of systematically planning, developing, evaluating, and managing the instructional process by using principles of teaching and learning. So sabi dito na it is a process and it is also systematic, na ibig sabihin na ito ay organisado at mayroong series of actions or steps to be taken in order to achieve a particular result. At para magawa natin itong systematically planning, it needs to developing, evaluating, and managing the instructional process. We need to use the principles of teaching and learning. So let's move on. Lessons could be studied thematically in social studies. So for example, environmental hazards, wars and conflicts, human rights violation, economic progress, and the like. So these themes could be developed also in reading, language, music, physical education, and art. Moreover, the dynamics of interactive teaching can be produced themes that are meaningful, interesting, and cohesive. Thematic means that the same topic is used to develop the teaching plan, content, and instruction for each of the different subjects in which students are enrolled. So for example, let's look here in the lesson plan in science for kindergarten thematic teaching approach. What have you guys observed? As you can see, it is all connected in one theme, diba? Let's look here in the left side, in objectives. At the end of the lesson, the pupils are expected to identify food that an animal needs. B. Classify and post animals according to food they eat. C. Identify the initial sound of each given animals. And lastly, D. Taking care of animals. So from that example alone in the objectives, what can you say? As we can see, the topic is animals. So the food that animal needs, the food that animals eat, the sounds of an animals, and how to take care of animals. Okay? So, let's look here in the right side. The question is, how many weathers are there in your village? Give a brief description of each. Write the name of main vegetations in your area. Write something about your village. So the example in the right side, the theme here is all about the village. So as we can see about these examples of ours, it has a specific topic to teach one or more concepts. In this way, the teaching and learning of the students is related together and integrated to a central theme. Significance of thematic learning. Thematic learning is a newer concept in pedagogy. Let's going to define what is pedagogy. So pedagogy refers to the study of teaching approaches and how they affect learners. A carefully considered pedagogy is essential in enabling students to learn more effectively and can help them develop high-order thinking skills. So going back, it is proved to be a powerful instructional method for integrating various concepts in curriculum by daily life examples and experiences. Thematic learning helps in promoting learning with understanding and discourage rote learning. Let's define rote learning. So rote learning is a memorization technique based on repetition. So here we're going to know the steps in thematic learning. For example, ecosystem and atmosphere, and etc. So number 2, integration of theme with existing curriculum. Next step of thematic learning is designing the theme in an integrative way to existing curricula, keeping the skill and content knowledge in mind. Number 3, designing instructions and co-curricular plans. These steps include organizing other resources and extracurricular activities for demonstrating the theme. For example, going to field trips or visiting a botanical garden. Number 4, group activities and discussion. Group activities and discussion enable students to participate and bridge on a shared perspective of the theme. This also helps in creative exploration of the subject. So next, we're going to know what are the 3 steps that are useful in creating an effective thematic approach. We need to know and answer this question first before we're going to teach our students so that they will enjoy the process of learning. So question number 1, what do I hope that children will learn as a result of participating? Number 2, is this a theme or topic about which children are naturally curious? Number 3, do the children have some understanding and background knowledge about this theme? So the elements that foster success in a thematic learning is about initiation of the theme, the teacher's role, group exploration, integrating the theme with curriculum and learning centers, building and maintaining spirit and enthusiasm. So the characters of thematic learning are as follows. Number 1, it should be student-centered, direct experience, ambiguous separation of subject matters, concepts from various subject matters, should also be flexible, and learning outcomes in accordance with the interests and needs of the students. The principles of learning while playing and having fun. It was said by Mahid and Rockman in 2014, Trianto in 2010. So benchmark of thematic approach. The thematic approach can turn IL, or inquiry learning, into a more inquiry-based process, rather than completing a checklist of types of resources searched or consulted in order to complete a research process. Inquiry learning emphasizes active learning and development analytical skills. By Moose and Hong Kong in 2011. In a series of papers discussing student motivation, the Center for Education Policy asserts that the inquiry learning model aligns with the 4 factors that affect student motivation. And these factors are, number 1, competence. The belief that students are capable of completing a task. So autonomy or control. The student's ability to set appropriate goals and see a correlation between their effort and the outcome. Interest or value. Students having a vested interest in the task and a feeling that its value is worth the effort to complete it. Relatedness. The need to be part of a group or social context and exhibit behavior appropriate to that group. So, by meeting all 4 of these factors, a course using the thematic approach should increase student motivation. So first, instructors build competence through scaffolding assignments. Second, autonomy is encouraged by allowing students to choose their own topics, even if sometimes that choice is somewhat restricted by the broad theme. Third, interest is engaged through the use of technology as either a tool or potential topic to appeal to the digital generation. Fourth, relatedness is emphasized through peer-to-peer and peer-to-tool instructor interactions that are strengthened through the shared readings and discussions. So using thematic instruction with multiple opportunities. So when using thematic instruction, teachers plan multiple opportunities for children to build on what they already know and to extend learning with meaningful, connected activities throughout the day. So for example, a theme on bridges might include the following kind of activities. Bridges are constructed and explored in the block area and at the water table, while outside in the play yard there are materials for building bridges. Number 2, stories and informational texts related to bridges, including books that represent different cultures and languages, are read aloud and available for children to explore on their own. Some may be placed in the areas where children are building. Children illustrate observations and thoughts about bridges. Children also participate in dictation activities, during which adults write down what the children say. Math activities include making charts that record the number of bridges the children pass over on the way to school and naming and exploring learning shapes. Science activities include guided explorations of how to construct bridges that support weight and do not topple. During classroom experiences, family and community members share their knowledge and lead activities related to the theme. During out-of-classroom experiences, children make observations related to the theme or take a walk to a community location to see a bridge. At home, families are involved in activities related to the theme and talk about the theme in their home language. Teachers engage families in talking to their children about the bridges over which they walk or drive, counting the bridges they see and comparing the sizes and shapes of bridges. So as what we can observe about the topic, in this example, its main theme is all about bridges. And now I hope that you have understood well what is thematic approach is all about. So lastly, the thematic approach should be a joyful and interesting experience. What can become natural for teachers is to realize how much the students are learning and how much they are enjoying the ideas that they are encountering in open-ended explorations. And I think that's all. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that all of you have understood well my report. Thank you very much, everyone.
And now I hope that you have understood well what is thematic approach is all about.